más sabrosa. Es muy fácil de preparar. Solo agrega agua al tiempo y obtendrás tortillas con todo el sabor al maíz de tu tierra.
Against us, where the atmosphere is electric. So, on that end, to be honest, in some ways, it's to be seen what the new national stadium, how that compares to Saprissa as far as the fans, the atmosphere, how loud can we make it. But when you just talk about the game, without a doubt, for us to get away from that turf and to be able to come on a natural grass field, it's a positive.
What can you take away from the last time you played these guys, given the conditions in that game? Anything?
Not much. We know they're a good team. We have respect for them. We played 2 really hard games against them last time, qualifying for the 2010 World Cup. Obviously lost here in Saprissa and then tied in DC in the last game after being down 2-0. So we know they're a good team. We have a lot of respect for them. But like I said, as far as taking anything away from the game in March.
Does it surprise you when they line up with 5 defenders? Show that sign of respect that they have in the past?
Does it surprise us?
Michael, people talk about the qualifying process as something that can kind of give a team a bunker mentality and bring them together over that long stretch. Knowing that, is it hard for a player to come in at this stage, whether it is Landon or anybody else, and kind of integrate themselves into that, having missed that process?
Landon's a different example. He's a guy who has been in this team. He's been such a big part of this team for so many years. So to have him back, there's no, it's good to have him back as we get now towards the end, the most important end part of this qualifying and hopefully into the World Cup next year. He's a guy that, if we want to play more than 3 games in a World Cup, we need Landon. And whether that's as a starter, as a reserve, who knows? The same holds true for any of us. But like I said, if we're going to be a team that goes to Brazil next year and has a real chance of making a good run at things, we need him around. As far as your question, in what we have here is pretty special, pretty unique. The spirit, the mentality, the camaraderie in this team is not something you find everywhere you go. And so I think when new guys come in, it works both ways. It's up to the group to welcome them, to make them feel a part of things, to show them the way. And it's then up to that guy to show the group that he wants to be here. And he's dedicated and determined and committed to being a part of that. And so when you have a guy who comes in with the right mentality and the right attitude and shows those things, then in every case he gets welcomed and brought into the group in a positive way.
So talk about your partnership with Jermaine. It's been almost 3 years now. You guys have been playing together, working together, trying to work out the kinks. Where are you guys in that process? And you feel like you guys have made a lot of progress?
You guys love to talk about this one, huh? Look, for me, again, and this is something that you guys have picked on a little bit and won't really let go. Because for us in a team, it's not something that gets emphasized in any way more than any other important detail. So, look, Jermaine's a good player. Jermaine plays week in and week out at Schalke. He has Champions League experience. From the first day he came in with this team, he's shown that he's a guy who in the biggest games can be counted on. And like in any relationship on the field, a constant process of trying to figure out how to bring the best out of each guy. And certainly when you look back, there's been games where we've played well together. There's been days when I've played well and he hasn't. There's been days when he's played well and I haven't. And so, that's football. That's reality. That's the same will hold true if you look at any other, whether it's the left back and the left midfield or the two forwards. Like I said, for he and I, when we step on the field together, we have the mentality of trying to win the midfield, of trying to use our combination of physical ability and athletic ability combined with our football to be able to control the center of the field. Because I think when you talk about playing in big games, so much of it is won in the center of the field. So much of it hinges on who's able to get the upper hand in the center of the midfield. And so we both have that mentality, and so I think when we step on the field, that there's that starting point. And look, like any other player, like any other player on this team, we're constantly trying to improve, constantly trying to push each other. But like I said, for me, continues to get better. And look, your question right now is about me and Jermaine. The same holds true if I don't play and Sasha plays, or that's regardless of who's here, regardless of who plays. There's the national team is constantly about trying to get guys on the same page as quickly as possible.
Michael, what kind of game do you expect from Costa Rica tomorrow? Obviously, in March it was a snow game and hard to take away much from there. And when they played in the Gold Cup, the U.S. team, I know you weren't there, but they took a defensive approach. Now they're at home. What do you expect from them tomorrow?
We expect them to play off the emotion, in all ways. To play off the emotion of the crowd, to play off, I'm sure in a lot of ways, their emotions left over from the game in March. To play off their emotions of us knocking them out of the World Cup last go round. And so look, there's a lot of things that go into this game. And so for us, we need to be ready to step on the field in a tough environment and be ready to stick together, be ready to know how to manage certain parts of the game like is always necessary in these games, in these atmospheres. And we feel like the way we're continuing to improve, the way we're playing at the moment, if we're able to do those things, then still there'll be enough moments in there where with our football and with our movement and with some set pieces that we'll be able to find chances of our own to win.
How would you describe Jurgen as a coach? It seems like he pushes players, but he's also a motivator and accents the positive.
Sure. I think any coach tries to find out quickly in a team who are the guys that need to be pushed by being hard with them, who are the guys that need to be pushed by maybe means of more encouragement. And so I think he's found his way in this team to know how to with certain guys and with certain groups of guys know that he can get on things and he can say, listen, that's not good enough, it needs to be better. And with other guys, with younger players, still then give them the freedom to play, to at times make mistakes. And so, look, as a player, you want to play for somebody who has a passion, has an excitement for what he does, and certainly when you look at Jurgen, he's able to transmit that every day.
You talked about Costa Rica being emotional. Is there any way to take advantage of that early on? Maybe they're over aggressive or over eager, or do you just have to kind of sit back and absorb that first in the beginning?
No, we don't want to sit back and absorb it. You know, it's never easy talking about the game beforehand. You know, it's both teams have an idea of what they think the game will look like, what they want the game to look like, and then it's a battle of when you get on the field, who's able to impose themselves on the other team more, and how that gets done. Certain bounces, certain calls from the referee, the emotion from the crowd. You know, it's a big play on one end that there's no way to predict that. And so look, our idea going into the game is that, you know, we have respect for Costa Rica. We know they're a good team, but we're confident. We feel like we're playing well right now. We feel like you know, we're in a position in the group where we should come here feeling like we are coming to get 3 points. We're coming to play. We're coming to make chances. We're coming to fight and be hard as a team. But that in every